Welcome back to Sunrise with the World. Engineer Samuel Edwong Inyang joins us now. He's the current managing director of Inyang Limited. And thank you for coming on this morning.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Well, first of all, let's start off with taking a look at the developments going on in this state. Do you think, because other states talk about looking beyond the natural resources, beyond oil, take Akwa Ibom State, for instance, are they doing the right things in terms of focusing or looking beyond oil, like improving the internally generated revenue, creating employment for youths, such that after oil, they have something to hold on to?
I think that's very important, what you're saying. Basically, you've got to look at Akwa Ibom State historically. Where was it in 2007? And where does it want to get to? The civil service state is very clearly lack of infrastructure completely. So they don't do any business, whether it be oil or any other. There was no business at all. There was no framework to do that. Routes did not exist. Transiting from within Akwa Ibom State, outside Akwa Ibom State, they didn't exist. So you've got to put what is usually called enabling environment. And that enabling environment for me was to move goods and services from one point to another so that business can happen. Also, social aspects of it. Now, forward to 2013, 6 years after that period, you'll find, first of all, as big as Akwa Ibom State is, you can get from anywhere, any local government headquarters, to another local government headquarters within an hour, so that goods and services can flow, so that the natural products, palm oil, cassava, farming products, input into the farms can happen. Okay. And without that, you can be discussing this at intellectual level forever, and nothing would happen.
Part of another key infrastructure that they can develop that will really go a long way in sustaining these policies is electricity generation. Do you think, given the resources that they have, if they don't have uninterrupted power supply, can they or should they beat their chest and talk about what they've done?
Power is absolutely important for industrialization. We've said it. The generation aspect of it, as you know, it's done. 585 megawatts. Now, I'm going to take it from that kitchen onto where it's used, the transmission. And that's still within the federal government. So that is ongoing. For example, you have if you go to the border between Akwa Ibom State and Abia State, you find the switching station where 5 or 6 major gas plants, major electricity generating plants are going to input electricity. That is going on. And immediately that is finished, plus the transmission, for example, from Ikota-Basi, where the 585 megawatts is to other places, that will flow. So you see that, a lot is going on, but you've got to get to the point where it's all coming together. And that's the impatience that we're all suffering from.
But if we're patient enough, do you also see the manpower, Akwa Ibom getting most of the manpower it needs from among its youth population? Especially its very technical manpower.
Yeah. You don't need a lot of manpower for that. That's true. And you can actually train for it. You find, if you go much deeper into it, you find good technical professionals who there, and then can bring up these upcoming young people that's happening. So the process is not really limited by manpower yet. It's not limited by manpower yet. It's limited by the ability to change that direction from government-owned everything into this private sector-driven business and this bold new way forward. And it will be true. Let me give you an example with that. Who would have thought the telecoms industry in this country had the manpower to run it? Who would have thought so? And see the proliferation of all of that. And it's working, largely so. I know there are other issues. So I am usually a bit patient saying, Let's make that first step, and a whole lot of things will follow thereafter. What I think should grant the people from this state and other states too, we learn quickly. People learn quickly. And when that is in process, all of it is happening.
Well, you've had vast experience in the oil and gas sector. You had over 29 years in Shell, Holland, Malaysia. Looking at the Petroleum Industry Bill, having gone through it, do you think it addresses fundamental problems in this country about our oil and gas sector?
For me, the starting point for the Petroleum Industry Bill is just to make it an ongoing, profitable business. Yes, it does that. The real issues that are left is issue of how much goes to the community. What about those on the right of way there? Royalties, who gets what? It's all this issue about what I call the general effort on what entitlement, not what you're putting on the table. I spend a lot of time in Shell. We used to battle fires where the pipeline, 350,000 barrels of oil per day is flowing through it, broken, burned, so that we can decide, or people can decide who owns what. So I think in the end, we have to accept that first and foremost, the communities from which this petroleum is coming from must have some benefits directly from it. You must have that. And the other issue is the minister having too much power. Yeah. And I think we always forget that the minister today is not going to be the minister tomorrow.
Shouldn't that be why we should be cautious? Because we don't know who's coming in tomorrow, and if you leave so much powers who you don't know.
I think it presupposes that he was designed for that minister. No, I don't think so. I think in a federal institution like that, and you don't need to split the powers into too many pockets. You're going to go to 10, 15 people before you can get a decision.
But it's taking too long a time. So one wonders if it's for the benefit of the communities and the people and the players in the industry as well as the government. That means we're talking about holistic benefit for every partaker of or participant of that particular bill. Why is it that till this very moment we still haven't seen it pass into law?
I think that's the issue I mentioned about entitlement rather than contribution. Everybody, it's a national asset, yes, but everybody wants to see what am I going to get out of it, not what is necessary to get the best out of that system. Because I think many people get this argument, it's a strategic industry. Gentlemen, ladies, there's nothing strategic about a non-performing industry. Anything that's not performing is never strategic. So I think, you've got to get it to work so that the fruits of it. I always get back to the telecom sector. We were really debating on who should get what. We wouldn't be where we are. Let's take bold steps, get a part of it, get the private sector to contribute very much to it, and indeed, you learn even in that process of doing. We're not allowing that to happen until you decide who gets what.
What about the capacity of the private sector or the communities to take advantage of this bill, if and when it's passed?
The capacity of the community is not an issue. We're saying we put what is decided and see how that is keyed into development.
But someone has got to ensure that it's implemented in terms of what the communities should get.
Yeah, I don't think that should drive it really. Unless until we get somebody who knows how to implement it, we put something into that. How do you learn by not doing it? It hasn't happened anywhere in the world.
So you're quite optimistic that if this bill is passed, it will address a number of issues?
I think it will address many of the issues. 100%, never. You'll never get that. And I think we can get into what I call academic exercise on this subject, where you want to design the full implementation. Many other countries don't do it this way. They learn to work by working. If that bill is 70%, 75%, okay. Take that, be grateful for it, and then begin to, in the words of Nigerian panel, build the other bits of it. But don't design that perfect system from day one. It's not going to work. It will take forever to do that. That's what it is.
All right then, Engineer Samuel Edward Inyang, thank you very much indeed for coming on Sunrise Daily today.
Thank you.
Okay then, so that's how we wrap today's edition of Sunrise Daily. We came to you live from Uyo, the Akwa Ibom State capital, took a look at